All right, so if you're in the SAP SD world, you can probably create a sales order in your sleep, right? But what about what happens after you hit that save button? That's where the real magic is. To really level up, to start thinking like a solution architect, you've got to understand those hidden connections. And today, that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to map out the entire system. I love this quote because it just hits the nail on the head. SD does not exist in a vacuum. It's so true. Think of it this way. SD is the engine, the absolute heart of the order-to-cash process. It gets everything started. But an engine can't do anything on its own, right? It needs the wheels, the transmission, all the other parts. And that's our whole journey for this explainer. We're going to follow all those connections. So what exactly is this engine we're talking about? Well, it's the whole order-to-cash process. When a customer order comes in, it's literally like you're turning the key in a car's ignition. That one action in SD sets off this incredible chain reaction across the entire SAP system. Suddenly, inventory gets checked, maybe production gets a signal to start building, and finance starts keeping score. SD is the spark that starts it all. Okay, let's get into it. Section 1, SD, the integration engine. We're going to look at how SD acts as this central hub, connecting out to all its most important partners. And this right here, this is the whole mindset shift we're aiming for. A consultant, they see a sales order, but an architect, they see this whole beautiful, complex chain of events. They see the domino is falling, and more importantly, they can see which domino is about to get stuck before it happens. That's the expert level we're aiming for. First up, and honestly, the most critical link of all, materials management, or MM. Let's be real, if you're selling stuff, SD is completely useless without MM. You can't sell what you don't have, right? This is where the promise you make in a sales order meets the cold, hard reality of what's actually sitting on your warehouse shelves. So let me ask you this, because this happens all the time. You create a sales order for 100 units. The user is swearing up and down, hey, I checked MMBE, we have 200 of these things just sitting there. But the order, it just won't confirm the full quantity. What's going on? It all comes down to a classic misunderstanding between what's on the shelf and what's actually available to sell. And here's why that happens. MMBE shows you your physical stock. It's just a raw count of what's on the shelf. And honestly, it can be super misleading. The real truth lies in what we call available to promise, or ATP. You see this in a transaction called CO09. ATP is smarter. It looks at the physical stock, and then it subtracts everything that's already promised to other orders, deliveries, you name it. So, rule number 1, don't trust the physical count, trust ATP. That's the number that matters. Okay, so the order is confirmed, the warehouse has picked the goods. Now comes this huge moment called the post-goods issue, or PGI. And listen, this is way more than just clicking a button to update a status. This is the exact moment that ownership legally transfers to the customer. And with that one click, boom, a perfect domino effect. SD updates the delivery, reduces the inventory, and FI creates the financial postings. It's this beautiful three-way handshake. So what's happening behind the scenes with that PGI click? It's all about these things called movement types. The standard one, a 601, is your everyday goods issue. It just reduces your stock. Simple. If you mess up, you use a 602 to reverse it and add the stock back. But returns are where it gets interesting. A 651 movement is for returns that need checking. The item comes back to your warehouse, but it goes into blocked stock, so you can't sell it and it's not financially yours yet. A 653, on the other hand, puts it right back into your unrestricted, saleable stock. Knowing the difference here is absolutely crucial for keeping your books and your stock count accurate. All right, we've covered the physical movement of goods. Now, let's do what everyone wants to do. Follow the money. And that leads us straight to financial accounting, or FI. If is tracking the boxes, FI is the official scorecard. It's the system's source of truth for every dollar and cent. Okay, this next one, this is where so many people get stuck. Automatic account determination. How in the world does SAP know which GL account to post revenue to when an invoice is created? It feels like magic, but it's not. It's a very specific formula, controlled by the transaction VKOA. The system basically looks at the customer, then it looks at the material, then it looks at the pricing, and it combines all those clues to find the one single correct GL account. And let me tell you, understanding this process is your secret weapon for fixing billing problems. So let's paint a picture here. You get that dreaded call from the finance department. They're in a total panic. All the revenue from your brand new service offering, yeah, it's all getting posted to the GL account for hardware. That's a huge problem. So where do you even start looking? Okay, here's the expert move. 9 times out of 10, I'm not even kidding, the problem is one little field in the material master, the account assignment group. Someone, probably in a hurry, just left the default setting for a physical product instead of changing it to services. It's a 5-second fix, but you have to know to look there. And that, right there, is the power of knowing these integration points. So we've got inventory and we've got finance covered. But the SD engine doesn't stop there. It also has to talk to your internal teams for planning and profitability. So now let's check out the connections to controlling, that's CO, and production planning, or PP. So think about this. FI tells you that you made money, which is great for the taxman and official reports. But how do you know if a specific sale was actually profitable? For that, you need internal reporting. And that's exactly what COPA, or profitability analysis, is for. So how does the info get from the sales order all the way over to a profitability report? Well, the bridge between those two worlds is a transaction called KE4I. This is where you literally map your SD pricing conditions, your revenues, your discounts, your freight costs, over to what COPA calls value fields. Without this mapping, the bridge is out, and none of that crucial data can get across. Now, let's switch gears to production planning. And here, we're really talking about two completely different worlds. On one side, you've got make to stock. This is where you just build a bunch of stuff based on a forecast, and sales orders just pull from that big pile of inventory. But on the other side, you've got make to order. This is way more personal. A specific sales order comes in, and that order itself is the trigger to start production. And that finished product, it's reserved for that one customer only. And believe me, the handshakes don't stop there. This thing is connected everywhere. With quality management, a customer return can automatically create a quality inspection. In warehouse management, your delivery creates a transfer order telling a picker exactly which bin to go to. Even in project systems, hitting a project milestone can automatically tell SD it's okay to send the invoice. The whole ecosystem is just massive. Okay, we've done the grand tour of the major integrations. Now for the most important part. How do you take all this knowledge and actually use it to become that system expert, that go-to person? And here it is, the key to the whole thing. Real expertise isn't about knowing the happy path, the simple scenario where everything works perfectly. Anybody can do that. True expertise comes from knowing where the system breaks. It's about hunting for those weak spots where the handshake between two modules might fail. So here you go. This is the Integration Experts Cheat Sheet. I wanted to give you something you can actually use. This table sums up the most critical spots. It's all about that ATP check in CO9. FI, you go straight to VKOA for account determination. CO, it's that KE4I mapping. Seriously, when things go wrong, these are the first places you should look. Keep this handy. And to really bring this to life, here's your new checklist. Your mission, should you choose to accept it. Stop just creating a basic order. Go into your test system and push it. Does a customer who's over their credit limit actually get blocked? What happens when you only have partial stock? Does a sale to a foreign customer hit a different GL account? Go try to reverse a PGI. These are the tests that will separate you from the pack. And that's really the bottom line here. Stop testing the happy path. Start testing the integrations. Intentionally go looking for the breaking points. Because when you finally understand why it breaks, that's when you truly understand the entire system. That is how you go from being a good consultant to a great solution architect. So I'll leave you with this question. Which integrations break are you going to go test first? Think about it. Go find those weak spots. Thanks for joining me.